My name is La Brittany. I think my mother, she just had like an obsession with La because my name is La Brittany D'Angela Ladora. I have two middle names, and every one of my names have La in it. But if you guys don't know, La means the in Spanish and French. So it's like the Brittany.
Now, with two middle names, why two middle names?
Because my mother is extra.
Ever met somebody with two middle names like you before?
A lot of black people.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were the only one for a second.
No, sometimes black people get a little carried away with the names.
Was your mother the one that named both middle names?
She was. D'Angela is because she thought that I was going to be a boy. So she was supposed to name me D'Angelo. And then Ladora, my grandmother who passed away, her name was Dora. So, but she wasn't dead when my mother named me this. You feel me? Like my grandmother was just a beautiful woman. So she decided to name me after my grandmother, Dora, but Ladora. So yeah, La Brittany, D'Angela, Ladora.
And why Brittany?
I don't know. I guess she just liked the name Brittany. I think my mother says she liked the name Brittany, but she didn't want it to be so regular and just keep just Brittany. So she added La Brittany.
Anybody else in your family with the La in front of their names, or just you?
Just me.
Now, I'm assuming people mispronounce this.
All the time. So many people think my name is L.A. Brittany, but it's not. I'm not from L.A. I'm from Detroit. And it's La Brittany.
Do you get offended when people just call you Brittany or Brit?
It's weird because, yes, I do. The only people that call me, like, Brittany and Brit is my mother, my sister, and, like, really close family. So, like, if, like, people I just met, friends, or even people in the industry that I work with call me Brittany or Brit, I don't even really acknowledge it. I'm like, who you talking to? Can't be, because I'm La Brittany.
Now, with the mispronunciation, and before I even talk about the mispronunciation, the spelling, do people spell it wrong too?
People always spell the Brittany part wrong. I think people spell Brittany like always with two T's, and then they put like Tany, but my name is Labritney. To me, the way my name is spelled makes the most sense.
And you have an apostrophe there too, right?
Yes, LA''Britney.
So which offends you more? When they don't use the apostrophe, when they misspell Brittany, or they just don't even put the La in front? Which really bothers you?
When they don't put the La. Most people aren't going to use the apostrophe because most people don't even know how to fucking, like, use punctuation marks, you feel me? But it offends me the most when people just call me Brittany, because literally Brittany is not my name. My name is La Brittany.
Now, as far as the pronunciation, was there any thought on changing your stage name because people butcher it or mispronounce it?
Never. Because I'm La Brittany. And that's who I am. So that's who I'm going to be.
Now, I assume this has always been your stage name? You never had any other stage names before?
I've always just been La Brittany.
What's your ethnicity?
My mother, she's black, but my father, he is Cuban and Caucasian.
Do people guess this when they meet you? Do they think you're something else when they meet you?
People have told me that I look like I am Lebanese. People have told me I look like I'm Ethiopian. People think that I'm like Puerto Rican, Mexican, like all types of like Hispanic, breeds. Nobody really guessed exactly what it is that I am. But honestly, like, I'm like black. Because to me, even Cuban is very like African American, But my grandfather, my dad, he is mixed with white and Cuban, so,
Do you speak any other languages aside from English?
Poquito. Very little bit. I understand Spanish. I speak a little bit of Spanish, but not fluently.
Why not?
because I stopped taking Spanish class, and I should have kept taking Spanish class. My papa, he spoke Spanish fluently, but my papa, he passed away. So I can understand, I actually understand a lot of Spanish words, and it's crazy because I recently moved from Detroit to LA. So now that I'm in LA, I'm around a lot of people who speak fluent Spanish, and I'm realizing how much Spanish I actually understand. But yeah, I grew up in a house where they didn't speak Spanish at all, and another one where they did. It wasn't consistent, so that's why I don't speak it fluently.
Ever incorporated it into your music, the little that you do know?
Not yet, but let me tell you, I cannot wait to make a Spanish album, because what I want to do is when I put out, I haven't decided what project it is that I would like to do this with, but I want to put out a project, and then I want to release a Spanish version of this project. So I'm actually I can't wait until I get to that point, because what I would have to do is I will write my music, go into the studio, record the records in English, and then I'll have a vocal trainer who speaks fluent Spanish. He would come in and kind of train me how to sing my songs in Spanish. So maybe I could do Acting Funny like that. I have this single out. It's called Acting Funny featuring Cash Doll, and it's super popping. And I think Acting Funny might sound kind of dope in Spanish.
Now, throughout your life, did you face obstacles having this mix in America?
Well, I don't think that I've faced obstacles like with people saying, you mixed, I don't like you. But I have faced obstacles, I feel like, just being a light-skinned, fair-skinned girl. And I'm not even light. My sister is 10 shades lighter than me. She's your color. But my hair was always a little fine, curly a little bit. And people have told me, you think you the shit because you got curly hair. You think you the shit because you light skin. I'm like, bitch, I ain't even light skin, bitch. I come from the same place you come from. You feel me? Just because I look like this don't mean that I live any differently from a dark-skinned person, But, yeah, it's kind of weird.
So you faced in your life more colorism than racism, it sounds like.
Yeah, I guess you can put it like that.
Was this something that was in middle school, high school?
Middle school, high school. Mm-hmm.
I see. Was that the worst incident or worst instance of colorism you faced? Was just what you just described there, or was there something worse maybe that stuck out?
Well, recently I've been experiencing some really weird shit. So I just moved my son out to California, right? And he goes to a school in Glendale. And you guys can YouTube this and everything. Last week, it was a big-ass brawl at the high school, and it was against Armenians and the black kids. And Glendale, I guess, is highly populated with Armenians. So this problem has kind of been existing, for years. But this year, for some reason, it just blew out of proportion. It was hundreds of kids fighting each other. And although I wasn't personally involved in the fight, my son was, and he's African American. And so they tried to suspend everybody that they saw on the cameras, because my son came through dropping all them motherfuckers, because my son is from Detroit. He literally just moved to California 2 weeks ago, and that's why this shit is so crazy to me, because I'm soon as you get here, this is when the school turn the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? But I guess that's just how us Detroit people do. But so now I'm in a place where it's okay, do I send my son back to this school? The school is a very, very good school. It's actually, Glendale in California is the 4th safest city in California. So an event like this to happen is so rare. And that's why it's such a big deal. You know, it's been on the news and, you know, they're taking all types of precautions. But I'm kind of like, you know, I don't know what to do because at the end of the day, if the root of the problem is racism, you know what I mean? If it's like the Armenians are against black people, this is something that can't be changed overnight. So literally, like, my son was suspended from school this week, and I have to go back to California Sunday. So Monday, I can decide if I want to send my son back to this school or, like, what the fuck do I do? This is literally, like, the first time I've really experienced some racist shit. So, you know, I guess Smallz, I come back and let you know how the hell this shit pans out.
What did you tell your son during this, from this whole ordeal?
Well, you know, the crazy thing is this problem started escalating throughout the week. You know, Monday he came home, he like, Ma, the Armenian is, you know, it's a group of Armenian kids that like came to our table talking shit, our lunch table talking shit, whoop-de-whoop. I'm like, you know, Tay, you're a 4.0 student. You are the best football player on the football team in the high school. You know, you've never been suspended. I need you to just control yourself. So then when he come back and he tell me that the kid's still on the same shit, I'm like, listen, if you got to defend yourself. Knock them motherfuckers out. 2 days later, Smallz, you got to YouTube this shit. It's insane. Like, literally hundreds of kids, bro. Like, it's a big-ass brawl in the middle of the school, dog. Like, it's some crazy shit, like, out of a movie. And that's exactly what my son did, you know, because he ain't no hoe. And he defended himself. And, shit, to me, that's what he was supposed to do. What was he supposed to do? Stand there and get beat up by these kids? No. But now it's like, you know, not all the time does just defending yourself solve the problem. Now we have, like, the bigger problem at hand. Like, what do we do? Like, do you continue going to this school? The problem isn't solved because the problem is a race issue. And this is something that can't be solved overnight.
Hindsight 2020, looking at everything, no regrets there with the advice you gave him?
None. Because them kids was going to keep being on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So at least now they know he ain't the one to fuck with. But now it's like, I can't send you back to the school because Lord knows what them kids are plotting against him now. So this is the issue that I'm dealing with now. And I just moved him to California 2 weeks ago, Smallz.
This incident that happened, this was something after school? This was in school?
This was during school.
Like in the cafeteria?
It was like, I don't know. It wasn't in the cafeteria because, like, in California schools, it's like outside, you know? So when the kids are going from like class to class, they're outside. And it was literally like just a big brawl in the middle of the school outside. I mean, so many kids. All you see is just kids just like dropping each other, fighting, like literally going in, bruh. Like on some like the movie 300 type shit.
There was surveillance footage that got them. There was just kids with phones recording it that got
both. It was like Snapchat, InstaSnap, school surveillance. And so like the school, like I was saying, Glendale is one of the safest cities in the city of California. So the police and the school administration, like they've been like on 1,000, you know, just trying to take control of the situation. But I'm like, listen, at the end of the day, if the problem here is racism, it didn't start in the high school. It started in the community because these kids only act and react to how their parents teach them.
Now, have you traveled overseas before, outside the United States?
Yes, I have. I've traveled to many parts of Europe. I've traveled to... Where all have I been? I've been to... I think just Europe. I went to London this year in June. I actually celebrated my birthday in June, filming Love and Hip Hop Hollywood in London. I've been to Amsterdam. I've been to Paris. I went to Africa. Africa's not considered Europe, right?
No.
Right. So then I went to whatever.
So
Oh,
it's a
Africa
different
is
continent.
a continent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to Morocco. That was pretty dope. I stayed over there for like 2 months working on music. I've been to Dubai. Where else?
These places that you visited, were they just short trips or were you there for any significant length of time?
I was in London for 2 weeks. I was in Morocco for 2 months. Morocco, Africa for 2 months. Everywhere else that I've been overseas, it was just like short little trips.
Did you face any racism or colorism issues while you were out there?
No, I can't say I faced any racism issues when traveling overseas. The thing that like really threw me off the most when I was traveling overseas, when I stayed over in Morocco, it was kind of crazy because over there it's either you really rich or you really poor. It's like no in between. Like, you know, here in America we got the in betweens.
Middle class.
Yeah. We don't have they don't have a middle class over in Morocco, Africa. It's either really rich or really poor. So, like little bitty kids, 2 years old, even younger, will be out like dirty, begging you for money, begging you not only for money but your food too. Like if you were walking down the street drinking a milkshake from McDonald's, like they're like, "Can I have your milkshake?" Because they're hungry. It was kind of hard not to give them everything that I had.
How did you feel about that? Being over there was rich or poor, and in America, you have rich, middle, and poor. And then you have lower middle and upper middle, but that's still the middle.
Well, being over there and it was either you rich or you poor, I mean, it was like either night or day, you know. I guess afternoon will be considered middle class, huh? I was grateful when I came back over to the United States. I can honestly say I would never want to live anywhere other than the United States because although a lot of people complain about being middle class, you know, they feel like it's like a place where you get stuck. Like it's hard for you to get rich and then like you make too much money to be poor, but technically they still feel as if they're poor, you know, when you're in the middle class. But it's like being middle class is still better than being fucking poor, you feel me? So like when I saw that over there, I'm like, I'm just grateful to be an American.
What about music-wise? Have you faced any obstacles due to racism or colorism music-wise?
So I haven't like blatantly faced any racism. Like no one has told me like, LaBrittany, because you black, you not gonna do this. But I do feel like, you know, being an African American and not only but African American, but an African American woman in the music industry is like we gotta like really like work like 10 times as hard. You feel me? Like they expect for all black girls to be the same way. Like they think we all look the same way. They want us to all dress the same way. They all want us to talk the same shit. They want us to dance the same way. That's how I feel like. And then for the black girls who try to cross over and just be like pop, it's hard for it to really pop off and be successful, you know, because it's like, how can you compete with Taylor Swift's and Ariana Grande's? Like these girls like are at the top, you know? So I don't know. I think the music industry is just a very interesting industry, being a black girl.
How do you cope with that? How do you deal with it?
Well, how I deal with it is I just stay true to who I am. Because at the end of the day, I am who I am. I'm a black girl. You feel me? And this is all I know how to be. So with me, it's like you either accept me who I am or you don't. Simple.
Let's say somebody's watching this and you could share some advice to them. And generally speaking here, because circumstances could be different for everybody, but let's say there's somebody facing obstacles because of who they are, whether it's their ethnicity, their nationality, their race. Is there any general advice you have for somebody going through those motions?
Any general advice that I would give to anybody in this industry, regardless if you black, white, female, male, is simply be you. Just be you. That's the easiest thing to do, honestly. Because if you doing anything other than you trying too hard. Bring it back down and stick to who you are. Stick to what you believe in. Stick to what it is that you feel is right or wrong. Stick to what it is that you love, and if the people around you, if they can accept you for who you are, then maybe those aren't the people for you. And I don't think that I have anything else to say other than that.